Yo, what's up, my people? This is that time of day where this house has a church bell. Can you hear it? It's beautiful, beautiful. It's been raining in here in LA, but today it's a beautiful day. Good Friday, holy day. Shout out to everybody who's joining the live. You already know what's going on, my people. What's going on, my people? What a week. What a week. Just real quick, guys, comment real quick. How's your week going? Comment a word. How's your week going? Maybe rank it from 1 to 10. 10 being like you crushed it. It's been an unbelievable week. 1 being like hell. What's up, Bosma? What's up, Alexi? What's up, Max? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, my people? We got a really special guest that's going to be joining us here shortly. Really excited about him. He's someone who I believe is one of the greatest millennial entrepreneurs, speakers. He's for the people. I only like to surround myself with people that I really believe are heart-led leaders. This guy is heart-led. He went from dorm room to multimillionaire by the time he was 24 years old. Similarly to me, actually to a T, I became a millionaire at 24 years old, and so did he. So we've actually been supporting each other from afar for the longest time. I'm excited for him. You guys may recognize the name Alex Morton Mindset. My man is really a dope entrepreneur speaker, man. The guy's for the always uplifting people, giving people the tools, giving people the secrets. So I'm really blessed to have him taking some time with us today. He's been nonstop, one podcast, one thing to the other. So he's taking some time today to be with us. So I'm feeling blessed that he's taking some time. So let me bring him on now. Let's go, my man Alex Moore.
Hey,
There he is.
what's up, man?
Yo, bro, what it takes for us to I don't even understand it. We've been following each other, supporting each other from a distance for like 5 years, and somehow we haven't fully gotten together and celebrated life together yet, man. But
I know
thanks. Isn't that crazy?
it's taking the freaking quarantine, bro, to because we got the same friends, the same homies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's cool though, man. The universe works in crazy ways. So definitely shout out to you for everything you've done as well, man. And like we always say, there's not too many of us out there.
Yeah.
That are really for the people. So it's definitely cool to vibe with you for sure.
Yeah. Everybody, real quick, drop some hearts for Alex Morton real quick. Taking some time to be with us. Yo, bro, I have so much respect for you. It's interesting because what you just said is true, and I've realized it more and more. Like, there's not a lot of us out here, especially with our generation, like millennials and like the younger generation, that are really doing it and that are not just talking about it, but are actually living it and are sharing the
Right.
journey along the way. And I have a lot of respect for you, bro. Like, there's a lot of people out here on the gram and on social media that that have the accolades, but bro, the hustle that you have is real. I see you all over the world, in places that I know that you don't even need to be, but you go, and I see you uplifting those people. And me being from a Latino background, I just want to say thank you, because it's for me to see someone that's out there supporting a lot of like people that come from my background in Latin America is something that I really respect you for everything that you do.
I appreciate that. Yeah, Latin America is actually one of my favorite places to be. I mean, I love Colombia. I've been to Peru and Panama, Honduras, Costa Rica. I mean, I've been all over Latin America, man. I didn't know you were Latino.
Yeah, bro, I'm Latino. I'm Colombian.
That's crazy. Yeah, Colombia, bro, Medellin,
Yeah,
Colombia, bro.
I'm Italian and Colombian, and then I just did 23andMe. My sister got it for my birthday. I found out I'm like 19% Native American, so I need to know
That's
that.
crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, Colombia is a beautiful place, man. That place is
Yo,
incredible.
everybody, comment where you're from. Where are you from? Where are your roots from? Alex, where are your roots from?
My mom's side's Armenian, so I'm Armenian on my mom's side, and then my dad's side's Jewish. I mean, I think Russian, Polish, maybe. I got to do a DNA test to
Yeah.
really see what I am. But Armenians, like I tell people I'm Armenian and Jewish, so that's what I've got
Right.
going on.
That's what's up, bro. That's what's up. Yo, so how are you feeling right now? I mean, it's interesting with everything that's going on in the world. How are you feeling right now? And how has this impacted you and how you've had to show up as a leader within your team, as a thought leader for your brand, for your community, for the world?
Yeah, well, for me, the main focus, the main business that I'm focused on, it's all digital. So the whole coronavirus situation, it didn't affect this company too much because we really did a lot of digital stuff. I know that you said you saw me all over the world doing events. So what we had to do is basically take everything offline and just put it online. So we've been doing a lot of things on Zoom, obviously. Everything's been Zoom. So we've been Zooming like crazy. And really what it's done is it's really forcing people, I know you've seen this as well, but it's really forcing people to understand the idea that they've got to figure out ways to make money from home, on the internet, whether that's e-commerce or that's trading or that's a podcast. I mean, there's so many ways to do it, but now because of this global pandemic, everybody and their mom is like, hey, I got to make money at home. I got to create another source of income. So it's actually sent a few of our businesses into pretty big momentum because of that need to create additional income from home.
Yeah, no, I feel you. I mean, I feel like business is never going to be the same. I mean, it was already going in this direction, but I think now people are like really waking up to the fact that like, if you're not adapting to this new economy, you're truly going to get left behind. And now our
Right.
entire country, let alone the world, people who are not truly prepared to adapt to this new economy, you're seeing them, man, they're like completely losing everything.
It's crazy,
kind of,
man.
I feel like it's going to get even worse for people that are not truly starting to adapt and just start to leverage the internet, man. And I feel so
Right.
blessed because we saw this coming when I was like 18 years old. I saw the internet as such a way to create freedom, such a way for me to like just go after my dreams. And it's interesting because like for me, not much has changed. I feel like I've always been doing online everywhere in the world. I feel like that's what makes entrepreneurship so great. And that's what I'm building online businesses so great is because we have the freedom to do what we want, when we want, wherever we are in the world. And you know what I'm saying? So it's like, what are some steps that you think people should be taking right now for them to adapt to this new economy if they haven't already? Especially for a lot of the entrepreneurs out there that are relying on brick and mortar.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important for people to really take inventory on their life and relationships and really, think about what gets them excited, what moves them. I was talking to somebody earlier today about, what should I go into? And I said, there's lots of things you could go into. There's a lot of different things on the internet. I mean, there's funnels and there's Shopify and there's Amazon and there's Forex trading and there's, digital network marketing and they're starting a podcast. So I think that people got to ask themselves, what are they going to be, excited about? Like if you weren't passionate about, leaders create leaders or all the other businesses, helping coaches, get to the next level, all the things that you do, if you weren't inspired by it, you wouldn't be great at it. So I think step one is really saying, okay, what am I interested in? Maybe it's solar, maybe it's, helping certain people do something, a specific skill set in a specific industry. I don't know. All I do know is that there is so many opportunities all over. So I think step one is, hey, what am I genuinely excited about? Number two, what are some of my strengths? I know you're friends with Gary Vee as well. He always talks about, don't try to, if you're bad at something, don't try to go from bad to average. Take something you're good at and become great at it.
Yeah.
So I think discovering people's strengths is so key. And then finding a good mentor. I mean, I know we talk a lot about that, but you know, you and I have had, you know, great mentors in our life, and be,
Facts.
be, because of that, we've had great success. I mean, I give so much credit to, you know, my mentors that I've had in my life, and you know, following the blueprint. I think so many people try to recreate the wheel so much, and instead they should find somebody that has massive amounts of success, and then just follow the leader. So yeah, I think it's an unbelievable opportunity right now for people to create freedom, you
Who have
know,
been
in
some of
their
the
lives.
powerful who have been some of the powerful mentors in your life? Because I know you have a ton like me. I mean, I'm going on 18 years as an entrepreneur.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe you're getting ready to turn 30, right?
I turned 30 in October, so I'll be 31, I guess,
Nice,
this year.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Welcome to the Big 3-0. We're getting to be the big brothers of the game. I remember when we were like the young bucks,
I
you know what I'm
know.
saying, in the young 20s, you know, out here really trying to get it and trying to, like, you know, learn. But you're right, man. Like, the blueprint is out there, bro. Like, my grandfather passed away last year. He was 100 years old. And when he was
Wow.
passing away, like, two quick things I would say. One, it was crazy because, like, I actually went and documented him. And now the first 12 years of my life, I never did social media. I never documented anything. And I look back and I'm like, man, if I would have started earlier documenting, even when I just started, before I had the money and the, you know, all the things and all the accolades, if I would have documented, man, for anyone who's watching this right now, like, if you just document your journey,
Yep.
don't wait till because you have to have all the success yet. But one of the things I was grateful for is I interviewed my grandfather, and I'll have that to share with my great grandkids one day, right? And he told me, he's like, Gerard, all the philosophy has already been written. It's out. Like, go back in history and read from all the greatest leaders. They've all written, like, the scriptures
Right.
are out there. You know what I mean? The blueprints are out there. You don't even have to necessarily read new books anymore because it's all being rewritten,
Exactly.
already been done. So, you know,
Exactly.
I really agree with you. And I think that's why I think learning how to let go of ego at a young age and
That's big.
truly is big, man. And just like going out there and seeking that mentorship. So, yeah, who've been some of those mentors in your life, bro, that have really guided you?
Yeah, well, I always talk about Bob Proctor. You know, I met him. I was 21 years old, and I was making about $400 a month. And he's basically guided me, coached me, mentored me to where I am, you know, today in business. So I really say he's been my mentor and coach. But along the way, I've met very interesting people. I mean, even little conversations. You know, I remember being at a dinner party in Houston, Texas, with my mom, and John Paul DeZorio was there. He's the one that JP Paul Mitchell Systems. He sold Patron. His net worth is like 4 or 5 billion, and he just gave me two little lines. I went up to him and I'm like, "Hey, you know, give me like the biggest secret to success." And he goes, "Successful people do what unsuccessful people don't want to do." And then he just walked away. And I'm like, it's so simple, because when you talk to people, you know, like Grant Cardone's one of them. He lives down the street from me.
Yeah, I
So
know. It
I've been
seems like you guys
fortunate.
built a really great relationship.
Yeah, so I've spent you know, a lot of time with him, and you know, he picks up the phone when I have questions and stuff like that. So he's given me a lot of great guidance, I guess, on like real estate and where to put money. But I would say my mom and dad,
Yeah.
and then Bob Proctor have been the three biggest mentors, you know, in my life. And I think it's also important that, I know you mentioned ego, and I had one. You know, when I
Yeah.
made my first million, I'm sure you did at some point
Oh,
too.
yeah.
You know, like
Big time.
the first million before 25, and then the cars and the, you know, doing the party and all the crazy stuff. Man, the ego was so big, and then it all got taken away. I feel like God humbled me.
Oh my God, bro. Same thing. Isn't it funny how, like, that ends up being a lot of people's journey? You know, I think there's a book that I recommend everybody read, and I don't know if you read it, Alex, but it's called The Second Mountain. And I
Mm,
talk about this a lot because we go through the first mountain in life, trying to get all the money and the external power and the accolades and the things that are attached to that ego. And then you realize, and for a lot of us, when we get it, we end up losing it somehow. And then you start realizing it on the second mountain when you now create a whole nother level of success, and you still create more wealth, but then you start realizing that it's really about that fulfillment and the impact and helping others.
Yep. I was just talking about that. I had a leadership call with one of our groups, and I was talking about, I said, listen, you guys got to stop chasing things so much, because I can tell you, the Rolls Royce is a Rolls Royce, but dude, after 3-4 months, it's just a car.
Yeah.
The Rolex, it's just a watch. I mean, you can't just be driven by these material things. You got to be driven by retiring mom and dad, or giving to a great cause, or starting the scholarship foundation. And you got to make it bigger than you. And it took me some time to learn that. It took me years to really understand that. But you're right, man. You get to a certain point, and it's just about legacy, and it's about impact, and it's about duplicating yourself into other leaders coming up. And that's what's really important. I mean, you look at Tony Robbins. I mean, the guy, he's, $500 million in sales a year in his companies, or someone like Gary Vee. I don't know how much money he earns, but he doesn't have to be doing what he's doing. And they do it to help people. And I think if people switch the mindset from, get to give, they're gonna be able to attract a lot more abundance in their life.
Yeah, I feel you, bro. I love that. So, like, what drives you? Is that what drives you today? And like, I've been talking about leadership because, for a while, bro, like, I've been passionate about content. My last company, Lead Daily, like, since I was a kid, creating and content, and then like led into personal branding, where I was finally like, all right, it's time for me to start sharing my story. Then I really realized, man, like, what I'm really passionate about is leadership.
Yep.
And that, and it was crazy. It was right under my nose for so long, because I had leaders create leaders. But I was like, all right, I want to help people to have the ability to get the courage to know that their story matters in life. But I really tie it all back to leadership at the core. So I'm just kind of curious, what do you think makes a great leader, and how has it been for you in like building a leadership brand? Being really someone who is like more of a thought leader, not just an influencer out here, or just someone who's just looking to build like a personal brand.
Yeah.
Shout out to influencers, shout out to all of them, anyone who's getting it. But like, what do you feel is the difference between the people that are out here that are looking to just build influence versus actually build a leadership brand?
Yeah, well, with leadership brand, I mean, it's all about leading people. Like John C. Maxwell says, everything rises and falls on leadership. Any good sports team, any good, band or group, any good anything, really, any good organization, it's all going to be run by great leadership. So one of the principles that, I've used for my career, which is going on a decade in February, is just the idea of always leading by example. And what that means to me is that, I'll never ask anybody in our company to do anything that I already don't do several times. Like before I suggested, hey, you guys should go on tour and go speak in front of fill these rooms and get on the planes and leave your family and go to Honduras and go to Germany and go to Poland, all these crazy places, right? I did it for years prior. So I think that to be a genuine leader that people voluntarily want to actually follow, it has to do with, leading by example, and then always making decisions based on the people, right? Like always making decisions where you can impact more people, help more people. So there's a big difference, like you said. I mean, like I grew up in the town over from like Jake and Logan Paul, and shout out to them. They created amazing, insane success, but there's a different, but then you see a lot of young people that try to just make funny videos and do all these different things. And then there's some people that have like real substance and have real maturity, have real personal development, or they're building like, real organizations like yourself. And there's a big difference there. And that's why I tell people to really monitor what content you're digesting every single day. I tell people, don't follow people just to follow them, because whatever words they say is going into your mind. Whatever their ideas are, their thoughts are all going into your mind. That's why it's so important to guard your mind against, anything that's not incongruent with, your what you believe in, what you stand for.
Yeah. Yeah. I love that, bro. You know, I feel like something that I don't even really think about so much, but it's like, you know, I'm consistency, right? You know, that the thing that I admire about you, that I see that me and you relate about with each other is like, it's fully who we are, right? Like it's every day,
Yep.
right? Like talking about Jake Paul, right? It's every day, bro. But like that's like we actually every single day, man, we're showing up. Like every day I know you get up, man, and there's not a
Every day.
day that you say, I'm gonna take off. And listen, like, and the reason why I say that in a sense is because like I feel like when you're truly living in your truth, when you're truly living in your purpose, even if you do decide to take a break or whatever, that's fine. But you're like every day you're showing up. Every day you know that you're leading yourself, you're leading your people, even when you're doing your own practice for your own with your own habits, like even when you're leading yourself, but it's every single day you wake up with this gratitude of knowing that you have another day to
Yep.
get up and to do the work that's meaningful. So how do you, for those that are out there right now that may be struggling every day to get that kind of energy that like pushes them every day, like how do you stay energized every day to do this? Like before we did this live, you were like, my voice, man, like I know you're going, you're doing every day,
Yep.
man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So how do you keep that energy up to stay consistent and to show up every day?
Yeah, I tell people I'm driven by a few different things. I mean, my both sides of my family are survivors, right? So my dad's side was the Holocaust, okay, and my mom's side was the
Wow.
Armenian genocide.
Wow.
So I grew up with like my grandma. The last 10 years of her life, she would always remind me, "Hey, you know, one life to live. Hey, you got to make something happen. Hey, you know, Alexander means helper of man." In Greek, all these different things. When you're a little kid, it's like success was the only option I had. So
Wow.
now that I guess I'm in terms of a lot of people's standards, you know, me and you are successful, right? I think about our potential, and I think about how we're so young, and I think about all the people that we can help and the people that we can impact. I mean, I've always had this idea of, you know, becoming a millionaire creator, right? Like how many millionaires can I help create? You know, how many lives can you change? And I know people hear that all the time, and you're like, dude, that's BS. You don't really mean what you're saying, but you do. You know, when you make it about other people, you're gonna continue to wake up early, even though you don't have to. You're gonna burn the midnight oil, even when you can go to sleep and watch Netflix and still get paid residual income just by breathing oxygen. You know, so I'm driven by my own potential. I'm driven by, I want to give back to the people that helped me get to where I am, because my success at 30 years old is not because of just me. It's been a lot of other people, a ton of other people that have helped me get to where I am today. So giving back to people, and then a bigger vision, a bigger drive, and just continually going. You know, Ed Milet talks about, he's in the same industry I'm in. He just does, it's life insurance, right? And what he says is that, he said something in a video. He said, you know, one day we're going to, I guess when we pass away, when we go to heaven, we're going to meet the person God intended us to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I want that person to be exactly who I am. And I remember he said that, and I'm like, dang, dude, that's deep, because we don't even know what we're capable of.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense to keep going and going and going and going, and just see how great we can be, see how much we can give, all of it.
Yeah. I love that, man. How do you cultivate resilience? I mean, my father recently, I was talking to him, and I was like, there was 137 interviewed my dad, and they were like, what's one thing that you would describe as a characteristic of your son? And he said resilient. And I was like, damn, that's cool. Like, I was like,
yeah,
it's like, that felt good to know my dad saw that. And I thought about, like, so how do I cultivate resilience in my life? How's that happened with me? So, like, what has caused you to be so resilient? Because I know for a fact, Alex, getting to where you are, you know, you're a star right now in the game of entrepreneurship. And I've seen your rise. I admire your work. I see you on stages all over the world. I've seen you, millions of dollars, penthouse, Rolls Royce. You're doing it, man. But I know, because I relate to it, getting there, man, you've had to overcome the obstacles. You've had to overcome the adversity along the way. So how have you been able to stay resilient along that path? And has it been a straight line for you? Like, what are some of those moments where you literally had to say to yourself, like, these are one of those moments and I'm being tested?
Yeah, I mean, the immediate thing that pops out of my head, in my first company, I kind of created the entire wave of momentum. And I think I walked in the door, it was like 47 million a year. And then we got it to like 230 million a year in sales. And it was a lot of young people and a lot of crazy energy. And we didn't do everything the right way. But, when that thing got shut down, basically, I got blamed for a lot of it. And I got crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, man,
Vima, right? I think it was called
Vima. Yeah, it was called Vima, network marketing company. And, I got blamed for a lot of this stuff. And I was telling my girlfriend the other day, I mean, I remember sitting in my house in Vegas with my parents, people were tweeting at me, like on Twitter, like literally, like, I hope you die in a car crash. I mean, really bad shit, bad stuff.
You know what? It's crazy. Back then, I remember, because I remember back then, that's when you were like, you were the guy. Like, you were like the number one guy, the whole thing, So like people respected you, man. And so I didn't know that when
that's a lot of the reason, why, some of these different podcasts and stuff, well, they Google Veeam and all this stuff, but it's like, listen, I tell everybody, like, like network marketing, it's just another vehicle of entrepreneurship. And a lot of these people, I mean, Tony Robbins, Jim Rohn, Milet is in one. Patrick Bet-David, it's an MLM insurance company. People
one of my mentors too.
Yeah, they're great guys and they're incredible people. So, but anyway, at that moment in time, my income went to zero. A lot of people are coming in my head saying he's a one-hit wonder. He's never going to do it again. So I had a lot of pressure. But and to go to your term resilient, I know you're not really supposed to get motivated by haters and negativity. But, man, I was just so, I guess, angrily excited to prove everybody wrong. And I know I know people teach, you don't want to be influenced by haters and all this stuff. But, bro, I'll tell you, man, I was just on fire because I'm like, I'm going to shut everybody up. Like, everybody, like, it was on the Today Show. Rolling Stone magazine did it was bad. Like, it was bad. But I was like, well, I can either quit and accept all these people's opinions about how I'm never going to do it again, or I'm going to go do it bigger and better and stronger and faster and shove it all down their throat. So
yeah,
it motivated me, man. And I just went and did it. So I don't know. People got to find what makes them motivated. I think you can have some good external motivation. You can have some good internal inspiration. But for me, I was excited to shut everybody up. So, yeah.
What motivates you now? Like right now where you're at in your career, seeing what everything is going on, like what motivates you? What's next for Alex Morton?
Well, right now, obviously I have a massive, massive role in our company. I help the entire company grow. We got about 140,000 customers.
Wow.
Our goal this year is to help create 1,000 people at 10,000 a month or more in residual income, which would put us about $1 billion company. And we're going to do it because what we're doing is really powerful. So I have the company, Alex Morton, like what I do with the financial educational company, similar to Milet, like he has WFG, you know what I'm saying? And then I have like Alex Morton Mindset. And for me, it's interesting you brought this up. I was going to start selling. My mentor, Bob Proctor said, you should create some courses. You should write another book. You should do some video series and sell all this stuff. And I was going to, and then I just decided, you know what? I'm going to create all the stuff I want to create, but I'm just going to keep giving it away for free. Kind of like how Leaders Create Leaders, that video series, that costs you a fortune, dude.
Like, 5 seasons. I'm on 6 seasons now, man. Hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, high production.
More importantly, the time. People don't realize the amount of time that I've invested.
Right.
And but for me, man, it's that feeling, and I know this feeling, and we don't do it for this, but bro, I've gotten stopped all over the world. I mean, I've been up to what's that wall in Israel?
Oh my gosh, I'm Jewish and this is terrible. Oh, the Wailing Wall.
So like, gosh, this is bad. We should both know this. So yeah, I mean, the most crazy places that are like, even that, like knowing like right now, like that holy places and all over the world, Bali, Italy, and people come up to me and it's never on some fame shit. It's always on a
real humble eye contact,
Yep.
soul level appreciation. You have helped me during times. You've helped me see potential. You've helped me, inspired me to go and do something. And like, to me, that currency, that's something that truly drives me, man. And
Yep.
so,
And that's what drives me too. I mean, when I go, a couple events really pop up in my head, but Quito, Ecuador, it's 2020 now. So this was middle of 2019. Maluma, who's like a big reggaeton artist,
yeah.
two nights before our event, he sold out the same venue.
Wow.
And then we showed up and we sold out the same venue 2 days later. And just the amount of people, like you said, it's real genuine gratitude. Like, thank you for changing my life. Thank you for posting that one video. Thank you for opportunity. I think there's a difference in that. And then, being at like Meek Mill's birthday party with some of my friends, and all these chicks are just taking selfies with Meek Mill. It's just like, I want a picture. It's not hey man, you helped me.
Changed my life. Yeah.
Right. So I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Hey, bro, listen, we got to get you on. I mean, we have been talking about it for too long. We got to get you on Leaders Create Leaders. I would love to document the movement that you're building and you're creating.
Bro, you could come on tour, man. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, I would love to do that. Why don't we do an episode? Guys, drop a heart if you think that we should get Alex. We should do an episode together. We'll do a mini documentary on his life and what he's building right now, the impact he's creating.
We can pull you on stage, bro. We can put you on some of these stages.
Yeah, I would love that, man. Anything I can do to help, bro. Like, we just need more. For me, it's just we need leaders right now. We really genuinely need leaders, and like leaders that are actually leading by example and giving people the tools so that they can create the financial freedom, the abundance, the love, the happiness.
Yep.
Like truly giving them the tools, both mentally, spiritually, and from a business perspective, so that they can. Because that's for me, that's what it's all about, bro. That's what it's all about. Especially, like I mentioned to you, coming from a background like you, where our parents, man, they didn't have this opportunity.
Right.
So we have such a big responsibility, and I want to know that when I die, I've done everything in my power to lead, man, and to help people, and to give that inspiration to my nephews and God willing, my own family one day.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
So what are some what are you reading right now, man? Like, what are you reading right now? How are you continuing to pour into you?
Yeah, I'm really big. I'm really big on personal development. I know you are as well. Especially having Bob in my ear all the time. So I constantly read. Yeah, I got Think and Grow Rich in my office. But some of the more, I guess, pop culture books that I've gotten is obviously I'm a big sports fan, so the whole Kobe thing is still just insane. But my dad sent me the Mamba Mentality hardcover book.
Oh, okay, I haven't read that one yet.
Really good. And like every page, it's applicable to business and in life, obviously. The way Kobe did everything. Tom Brady came out with a book, TB12. It talks about his whole process on mental, physical, spiritual. I'm really working on like health more. I'm really training harder, trying to eat better, because I know that health is everything. I've seen you. We got to talk more on a more personal level, but I know you did some things like in Peru, and I got people talking about. I'm like,
I'm very big with plant medicine, and just for me, I'm a real spiritual person. So, prayer is one thing, right? And like, it's a very holy week, and I have a very, very strong relationship with Jesus. And talk about leadership, right? So just like I honor Jesus, I honor, God, and I'm very religious in that sense. But I've also like really tapped into my spirituality as well, just like getting to know me and kind of just shedding shadows and shit that I've had, that some of it is mine, some of it is even from my lineage. Because if you think about our family's lineage, my family's gone through war, World War II. Your family's gone through the Holocaust. Like the men in our family, what they've been through, the men in our family's lineage, right? So just there's a lot there to heal, and it's been powerful, bro. Like the diving into that world has been like super, super powerful, bro. So anytime you want to jam on that, do you meditate? Is that
I do a little bit more. Yeah, I don't do enough of it. I'm not gonna lie. I don't do it enough of it. But I'm big on prayer. One of the things I was talking on a call earlier about, I told everybody, listen, when you wake up, don't just grab your cell phone and start scrolling on news feeds.
Yeah.
You know, the first 20 minutes upon rising is when our subconscious mind is the most open to suggestion. So I tell people, listen, when you wake up, you know, write down 10 things you're grateful for. Send love to 2 people you're having problems with. And then pray. I mean, I believe in God. You know, we do in our family, we do Christmas and Hanukkah. We do Easter and Passover. That's what you said. It's a holy week.
Yeah.
We had Passover Seder on Zoom
I
2
saw that
nights
last
ago.
night.
So I'm big on God as well, man. And you know, I tell people, listen, I don't care who you believe in or what you call God or the universe or whatever it is. You got to have some type of foundation there, because you know, we were created in the image of the Creator. And I know you talked about spirituality.
Yeah.
We're spiritual beings.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Having a physical experience. Like this body, like Bob Proctor says all the time, he's like, Alex, you're renting your body. Like one day, your spirit goes bye-bye. The body goes 6 feet under, and you go somewhere else that's far greater. So, and people don't talk about that stuff. They talk about sales scripts and how to close people on high ticket stuff, which is important. But if you don't have the fundamental basis of who we are as human beings, man, it's everything else is going to be very difficult.
Yeah. I love that, bro. I love that. Yeah, we'll have to jam more of that offline. I want to get into some questions, guys. So ask some questions. I want to respect Alex's time, so we'll go for a little bit longer. But if you have any questions, comment them now. Alex, I'd like to get some practical tips for someone that's out there. For someone that really feels like they want to become a speaker. You're one of the most, like, I mean, you've probably been on more stages than guys that are like 2x, 3 times our age. What are some tips that you have for someone, for them to gain the confidence and then to really be able to own the stage and make an impact with an audience? Let's for instance, if someone was ready to go and do their first TEDx talk.
Yeah, I would say that if people are showing up to see you, somebody once told me, no matter what you say, they're gonna clap. Number one, so don't be nervous. And then number two is you know, people are there to learn from you, to get value from you. So I tell people, listen, just keep it real. You know, I pride myself on whether I'm on an Instagram live with you with a couple hundred people, or I'm talking to my mom on FaceTime, or I'm in Quito, Ecuador with 5,500 people in an arena. I'm always going to be me. And I think you mentioned, you know, speaking your truth or being your truth, whatever you said earlier. That's what people have to do. I mean, right now, we're inundated so much with nonsense and BS and rented Lambos and all this crazy shit. Like, if you're full of it, people are going to know pretty quick. So I think people got to always be genuine. And then you have to become an expert, an authority figure in something. And I don't want to be mean when I say this, but I know you probably can relate. Like, I know Elite Daily, you sold it for X dozens of millions, 30, 40, whatever, $50 million, right? You know, what I've done, whatever I've done, hundreds of millions in sales, I've made 30 million at 30. It doesn't matter. The point is, there's so many people out there that hit me up like, hey, how do I become a speaker? And Eric, this is what Eric Thomas told me. I never said this before publicly. I'm like, hey man, I want to speak one day. He said, well, you're white and you're privileged, and until you make at least $1 million, nobody wants to listen to you. So I said, okay, I got to go create. I got to go build. I got to go do something first. So I tell people that hit me on the whole speaker thing, I'm like, people like you, people like me, we're not like speakers. We built real businesses.
Right.
And we have real results.
Yeah.
And now we share it with people. I think some people want to like skip that part.
Yes.
And it like, it doesn't drive me crazy, but I'm just like, bro, you know, like Gary Vee runs VaynerMedia. I mean, VaynerMedia is a big deal. Ed Milet has made hundreds of millions. Like, you know, these guys, Grant Cardone has $1 billion in real estate. It's like, why do you think people want to listen, man? Like, you have to do something first.
Yeah, I love that, bro. I got here, John asked, do you recommend a vision board or a vision environment?
That's a great question. I think both. I think the vision board can morph into a vision environment. You know, getting the exact car you want on a wall, getting the exact house you want to live in on a wall, creating maybe the your idea of a perfect body and putting it on a wall. That's really important. You know, the question I ask people that I'm mentoring, I say, listen, if I walked into your house today, am I going to see where you are or where you're going? So, like for me, you know, I put private jets and stuff up in different places because I'm obsessed with this idea of a jet. I just don't.
You better get me on that jet. I can see your logo on a jet, man. I like that.
I don't like airports, man. They're negative places. Everyone's mad, you know. So I think getting, you know, my mentor always said, get your goals in front of you. Get your goals where you can see them. You know, whatever our eyes see in the word eyes is the word yes. EYES. Yes is in the word eyes. So whatever we see is an automatic yes.
I love that.
So you need to see affluence and abundance and money and health and happiness, all those things.
Yeah. Dina asks, can you talk about how to master the art of allowing? That's an interesting question.
That is.
You know, because I truly believe working with plant medicine, one of the biggest things I learned is surrender, let go, and trust, and learning to surrender to that process. So, like, what is that? What comes up for you in hearing the master the art of allowing?
Yeah, I've never been asked that. To me, it makes me think about, you know, give, allow, and then receive maybe. So maybe it has to do with being ready to receive, allowing that energy. And also it could also mean, listen, if you put a desire in the universe and you get into your subconscious mind and you create, this is what I want, this is who I'm becoming, this is where I'm going, then I think sometimes the universe starts to plant opportunities, people, locations, situations in your life. And then I think you have to be ready to allow these things to come into your life and maybe even become aware.
Yeah.
You know, if you say I desire $10,000 a month in income, and then your homie knocks on the door with an opportunity to go sell solar panels or go learn how to build funnels on the internet, you have to allow the universe to give you the tools you need for success. And I think sadly a lot of people block out their own blessings, man, because they're either skeptical or, you know, everything's too good to be true, everything's a scam. I mean, people have to allow opportunity in their life to bring them closer to what they want.
Yeah, bro. I love that. I want to ask you something. Michelle, I see, is on here. I had a call with her earlier. She's a leadership expert. And we were talking about the moment when I owned my power. And I kind of want to talk to you about, like, at what point, Alex, tell me if you relate to this, but there was a point in my journey, especially once I started, like, building a brand and being a little more vocal, where, like, I really didn't truly own my power. I was kind of still looking at Gary Vee over here or E.T. And I remember one person came up to me on stage. I partnered with Eric Thomas at an event in Newark called Take Ownership. And I remember some people that came up to me and they were like, yo, G, don't try to be like Gary Vee. Don't try to talk like E.T. Talk like Gerard. And there's been different moments in my life where I've realized I've given my power away, or, like, I realized I wasn't truly taking ownership of Gerard Adams. You know, I had sometimes a fear of, like, disappointing people from, like, when I was younger. Sometimes I felt like when I hit the pinnacle of my success and I sold my company, even at that point, I was like, man, I really want to be humble. I don't want people to think I'm better than them. So I took all that money, I put it in a trust. I sold my exotic cars. I sold my penthouse. I started going the other directions. I was like, man, like, I really, and, you know, what, you know, does that relate to you? At what points in your life have you, like, realized it was time for you to truly own your power as Alex Morton and not care about people's opinions?
Yeah, it's, that's a great question. It's a great topic. I mean, because of the world we live in, and maybe some of our different mentors, I know we look at a lot of the same types of people, the Gary V's, and, you know, whether Ty Lopez's or Bob Proctor's, Tony Robbins, all these types of people. Sometimes we can catch ourselves in moment, being like them a little bit. And when someone says step into your own power, don't try to speak like E.T. I've heard people say, don't try to be like Grant Cardone. I'm like, I'm like, I listen to him so much. Some of his lingo just comes out. I'm like,
yeah.
dude, he's got a G5, like he's got a G550. Like if that's what I have to do to get it, that's okay, you know. But owning your own power, I think, is really just knowing who you are, and I think it comes back to the whole spiritual foundation. And a lot of these success gurus or speakers, whatever, they just skip totally over that. But I'm a believer that 95 to 99% of people's success is actually created in the spiritual world. You know, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the vibrational frequencies, all these different things. So I think owning your power is really, it's like step one, know who you are. And step two, I think people got to really understand that everybody's a badass. Everybody is great, because our spiritual DNA is a human, whether you're Latino and Italian, I'm Jewish, Armenian, or someone's a female. Dude, it's the spiritual DNA of a human being is already perfect.
Yeah, bro. We're born with the birthright of abundance. You know,
I
we
love
have
that.
everything from the moment we're born. You know, we're born with the creator, you know, his eyes, you know, her eyes, whatever you believe.
Yep.
So we're perfect, you know, from the get-go. But then we go through, I think what's interesting is how, like, and I'm hoping that we really do change the way the education system is and the media is, because it manipulates people from a young age, you know, to be like, you know, think that they have to think in a box. They put everybody in a box. So it's like,
it's the paradigm. You know, it's one of the things that I talk a lot about when I go and speak and stuff, is that, you know, the paradigm, it's a multitude of habits, ideas, thoughts, and beliefs, and it's not even our own. When we're a little kid and we hear grandma say, you know, money's the root of all evil 55 times, you know, then we grow up thinking money's the root of all evil, or, you know, you have to rip people off to become rich, or you have to do certain things, and money's bad, and it's so twisted, man.
I
And
mean,
it's
it's
like,
just this journey of, you know, for you, at what point did you start to rediscover your belief system? Like, when did it click for you? I know you started at a very young age with personal development, but like, at what point did you start to redefine your belief system, your values, and are you still doing that today?
yeah, I think we're always seeking ongoing evolution, expression, expansion, as just being a human being, which we're a creative being. I mean, they say the only difference between mankind and a cow or a horse is the mind and the ability to think and create. So, yeah, I started at a young age with, you know, personal development, and that got me thinking a little bit, you know, bigger. But I think it just comes down to the belief system. I mean, if people truly knew how great they were and how powerful they were as a human being, then the opinion of their uncle wouldn't, you know, mess them up, man. And like, I still get stuff today. Like, even we get on chat, we get on calls like this, and people are talking shit and all this stuff. I'm like, dude, people still don't understand that, you know, success is, like you said, abundance is a birthright. Success is a birthright. People just got to become aware of how great they are, and then continually, you know, work on themselves. But, you know, my values, I feel like my values always stay the same, but I guess my belief system keeps getting, you know, maybe I guess stronger as the years go on.
Leveling up, realizing you can go more, even further, even like, you know, think bigger. And I've got that place too. You know, I'm always thinking bigger. You know, my values have evolved a little bit more, as well. I've gotten clearer on them. I've defined them a little bit more. Mine are like trust, transparency, results, responsibility, appreciation, service, tribe. Those are my core values, you know, and I feel like now I've really inherited them, and then I defined what I mean by them, because a lot of times we think about our values, but we don't define them. And it's important, because really I owe a lot of my success in building businesses to culture, you know, and I'm sure you know this because you guys have freaking all the, you know, it's such a huge team, right? So it's like, how do you get that team to unify for one common mission? You got to create a culture that they believe in. They got to understand that goal clearly. They got to understand that mission, that vision. And they all have to understand those values and align to what those values mean, you know, because like what transparency may mean for me, what trust may mean to me, what service may mean to me, may be different for you. So we have to fully align on what that reality is. And, you know, that's been really powerful for me.
That's why it's so important to have that collective vision. You know, it's like, I forget whoever the group is that's trying to cure world hunger, right? It's like we all know it's not impossible, but it's very difficult to completely cure all world hunger. But they make it such a big vision and mission. People are willing to die for that cause.
I love that. I love that. So Erica asked Alex, what is your personal attitude towards money? So what's your relationship there? What's your attitude towards money?
Yeah, I think all money is a vehicle. Money's not the root of all evil. I know people say the love of money could possibly be the root of all evil. That could potentially be true if you start putting money over maybe your little sister or your mom or your dad or your health. I can see money being destructive if you become a destructive personality type of person. But money's a vehicle, and money's good, and money's important, and money, it's a responsibility of ours because listen, I want to help people. I started a high school scholarship foundation or a college scholarship foundation at my high school, and I do it with money. You know, like one of my good friends is providing masks to New York City hospitals right now. He's made a lot of money in the roofing business, and he's doing it with money. So people got to understand money is very important. Like Les Brown always says, it's not, it ranks right up there with oxygen. If you can't breathe, man, you can't survive. So my relationship with money is, don't let money control me. I control money, and I use money for a force of good.
I love that. I love that, brother. I have a couple more that came in. Just basically, it sounds like we have some young entrepreneurs in here, young 20s, and they're asking for some advice on, getting started as an entrepreneur. And, one of them is mentioned like kind of building a brand. I think you kind of talked about that a little bit, like you build the business, get the skills, like get the results, then build the brand. I think that's what Alex talked about earlier. But what advice would you give to someone who's just starting out right now as an entrepreneur, regardless of their age?
Yeah, I mean, it depends what industry or profession you're going into, but whether I do some stuff with whether it's realtors or insurance agents, some door-to-door guys that I talk to and stuff and guide. No matter what industry it is, this is what I tell people. This is what somebody told me when I was 21. There's somebody in your profession that's killing it, that's making a ton of money, a ton of impact, breaking the compensation plan or selling the most knives, whatever it is. You need to reverse engineer that person's success. So it's very simple. Find someone that has what you want, and then be willing to do what they do and say what they say. And eventually you're going to get what they have every time. So whether you're 20 or you're 30 or you're 18, man, just find somebody. Like there's going to be, I know, like the realtors in Miami. I'm meeting up with one of them tomorrow. His name's Chad Carroll. He was on the reality TV show, $1 Million Listing. Super good dude. He went to my high school. We found out. We're going to go link up. And if I was a real estate agent, I'm going to go model what he does.
Yeah.
That's it. To a T.
Yeah.
Right? That's it.
That's how I made my first millions. I started by getting a mentor, and I just literally dedicated all my time to being over their shoulder, just learning the craft.
Yep.
Like there's mentors out there that it's got to be both ways. You have to be a great mentee. You have to add value. You have to be committed. You got to have that commitment and discipline, but facts, man, people are out here, Alex, what is the most effective way to build your self-awareness? This is going to be the last question, guys. So I appreciate you, Alex. This will be the last question, man. I appreciate you so much for taking the time today. Really, genuinely, bro.
I appreciate you too, man. I appreciate you too. Self-awareness, I think about self-discovery, and the 3 ways to really increase your self-awareness is number 1, develop the skills. So whatever skills you believe you need to harness and master, or better yet, you need to harness and master to excel in your business, develop the skills. Number 2, master your self-image. You got to build the person you want to become. Before Gerard Adams became Gerard Adams and sold Elite Daily for X amount of millions of dollars and created one of the freaking super cool video series ever, Leaders Create Leaders. Listen, he built that image in his mind, and he fell in love with bringing it to life. So you have to create the image in your mind of who you want to become and what you want to accomplish. And then number 3, Um, I would say always be adding value. Be a person of increase. You know, any person you talk to, increase their life. Anything you do, make it so it adds value to people's lives. Solve problems. You know, give advice, give guidance, give people opportunity. And you do those three things, your self awareness is going to continue to heighten, and you're going to become more aware of what's possible, and you're going to be able to more openly attract the things that you need to bring you closer to your biggest goals, dreams, and desires.
I
So
love that.
yeah.
Guys, drop some hearts, some heart emojis for my man Alex Morin that's joined us today. Took an hour out of his day, his time, his most precious commodity to share love with us, to share wisdom with us. Alex, man, I have a lot of respect for you. We're young. We're not guaranteed tomorrow. So I
Yep.
appreciate today. I appreciate you taking this time. Know that I got your back. You already know that I'm about it. Real, recognize real. Like, I'm out here dedicated for the rest of my life to community, to the people, to helping create leaders. You know, I don't care where you come from. I don't care what color your skin is. I don't care, you know, what your religion is, your sexuality. Like, if you want to become a leader, I'm going to help you. I'm going to guide you. I'm going to bring leaders like Alex to you to help you. And my life is dedicated to this, bro. And I'm grateful that there's leaders like you out there that are living their truth, sharing, helping people, and just know that, like, I got your back, man. Let's build our friendship from here even more.
Yes.
Like, anything I can do to support you, man, and bring value to your community. You want me to jump on a workshop? You want me to jump on a live? You want me to come meet you, be on stage? Anything I can ever do for you, for your family, God bless them. I'll say a prayer for you and your family tonight. But bro, thank you again for sharing. Thank you for what you do. Thank you for how you show up. And yeah, man, let's keep supporting each other, man. Leaders create leaders.
Hey, right back at you, man. I'm grateful for you, and congrats on everything you've done and what you've been able to create. And yeah, together we can change a lot more lives. So
Yeah.
I appreciate you. All love all the time, man. So God bless.
All right, brother. Enjoy.
All right. Peace.
All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Another day. Been doing these every single day, like over 2 weeks. It's been an honor to bring some of the most powerful leaders to you on live stream. If you haven't seen Leaders Create Leaders on YouTube, definitely go and check it out. I've interviewed some of the most powerful CEOs, entrepreneurs, leaders of our time. 5 seasons. I'm getting ready to launch season 6 in May. Got a really great, the founder of Mind Valley Vision, Billie Jean Marketing. We're talking to Garrett of Warrior. We have some really, really powerful people coming out on season 6. So I'm really stoked about that. Yo, guys, I appreciate you so much for taking time out of your day to just learn. I honor you guys, man, for like actually taking the time to not waste time scrolling, looking at people that are just posting memes all day, but taking the time to follow people like Alex and myself that are actually helping you to become better leaders, better entrepreneurs. And if there's anything I can ever do to support you guys, just shoot me a DM. But as always, comment on my last post. Let me know if this was valuable. And definitely check out the Leaders Create Leaders podcast every single week on Tuesdays. I'm going to be turning these live so you can rewatch them on my podcast. Just look up Leaders Create Leaders on Spotify or iTunes and join the Leaders Create Leaders movement. It's your boy, GA. God bless you. Wishing you an amazing Good Friday. Wishing you a beautiful Easter with your family. Happy Passover. Sending love. Let's all remember what Jesus represented: compassion, forgiveness, empathy, love, courage, valor, bravery. He represented so many of the things that we have an opportunity to tap into. Let's give our gratitude for his sacrifice, for what he represented. And let's know that we can all step out of this crisis with a little more love, with a little more compassion, and make the world a better place. Have more unity in the world. Shout out to all my Latinos and Latinas on here. I see you, Colombia, represent. And God bless everybody. Until I'll be back on Monday through Friday, these lives, Monday through Friday. So love you guys. Peace.